Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live and it is the post-match reaction of Arsenal's 4-1 loss to Manchester City. Yes, they were not even close to Manchester City. They did not touch a glove on Manchester City tonight, and it showed the levels that Manchester City are and how far away Arsenal are. Yes, Arsenal can compete against the other teams in the Premier League, but when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to Manchester City, the juggernaut is just too far ahead of Arsenal. Is the season over? I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you can't say the season's over until it's actually over, but it's improbable. It's going to be very hard to come back from this. Simon says the performance tonight was disgusting from Arsenal. The one player that did not let us down was the one that everyone panicked over. Disgusting performance. I think emotions are running high, so I wouldn't go as far as to say disgusting. I'd say Arsenal were just not on City's level. Arsenal lose a couple of players, and that is where we're at. When we lose a couple of players, we're in trouble. Granit Xhaka, he was probably still feeling the effects of his illness. He wasn't really in the game. Thomas Partey was very much isolated for most of the game. The defence was getting pulled from pillar to post a lot of the time. Gabriel wasn't great. Rob Holding was okay, but still, you never felt safe around him. But I think there's too much emotion coming from you, Si, if I'm honest. Like you can't turn around. You can say it's an object performance. You can have an opinion on a performance without going as far as to saying spineless, weak, and disgusting. There's nothing about this team that is spineless, weak, and disgusting. They're just not at the level of Man City. That's as simple as that. Even on Arsenal's best day with the team that they had out today, do you really think they could have done something today? Do you really think that Arsenal could have got a result out of something today? A draw, maybe? Do you genuinely think that Arsenal could have got a result at the Etihad with this team? I think I would say you probably need to adjust your levels of expectation if that's the case, maybe. I will. What I will say is I think the first goal. I've got questions for Aaron Ramsdale on that one. As a goalkeeper myself, I feel like he was beaten too far out and didn't get anything on that. And for that far out, you at least want to get your hand on it, and then from there is what it is. He made a couple of very good saves after that, which kept us in the game. And if not for two saves that he made in that first half, would have gone in the second half 4-0 down. As soon as that second goal went in, it didn't feel like we were going to come back. It didn't feel like we were going to come back in the game. At one point, we were it was 81% possession to Manchester City. That's not Arsenal. We just could not get in the game, and Man City were like I think Arsenal weren't good, yeah, but Man City were outstanding tonight, and I think you're a bit unfair by saying Arsenal were weak and spineless, Si, if I'm honest. It's boring to see. It's boring losing to City every single time. Russ, it was boring losing to Liverpool every single time. Now we're getting draws against Liverpool at Anfield. So it's baby steps, mate. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. It's not one person actually put their bodies on the line and they're allowed just to sit here and play their game. The positive news, we've qualified for the Champions League tonight. Leicester teams would have given City more of a game tonight. Yeah, maybe. I'm just disappointed with the performance, not in the game, but Southampton and West Ham. If we had picked up 6 against them, tonight's result wouldn't have bothered me. I've said all along people call us flat track bullies, but that's where we're at the moment. And it's not even a case of flat track bullies. Arsenal are at a situation where they're not on the level of Man City. Like, we're not. We're not on the level of Man City. Like, that's what we need to understand. They've got a seasoned professional in De Bruyne who is years ahead of our De Bruyne, which is Odegaard. Like, Kevin De Bruyne is years ahead of Odegaard. Like, in ability, in experience as a player, he's well ahead of Odegaard. So, you've got Haaland, the goal machine, that's now scored, 34 goals in the Premier League this season. Like, Bernardo Silva, England international, John Stones at centre-back with Ruben Diaz. Like, we're not talking about a team that is just a run-of-the-mill team. And City played superb tonight. That one's for you, Russ. You're saying a lesser team would have given City more of a game, but would they? Would they genuinely on this form at the Etihad Stadium? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm not too sure on that. I'm not too sure. I think this is what I personally see from people's reaction. We're all disappointed. We're all gutted. Yeah. What I see from people's reaction is you're seeing the Arsenal team that were playing earlier on in the season and they didn't turn up. That Arsenal team didn't turn up at Man City tonight. Well, that Arsenal team's not been here for weeks. That Arsenal team from the start of the season or from around Christmas, just before that, has not been here for weeks. Saliba's been out for 5 weeks, missed the last 5 games. That team is not the same. Like, we grew a different team and kind of cohesion. It's a mental thing. Same thing happens when we go to Anfield. But Russ, I think, like, there's levels to it. Do you know what I mean? You're disappointed about the way we've gone to the Etihad Stadium, yeah? Completely understand that. And if we want to be a team that's regarded as a team that's challenging for titles, we've got to go to the Emirates Stadium, whoever's on top of the league or winning about us, and get a result. But I've just said, yeah, we go to Anfield or we play Liverpool, full stop. Forget Anfield, because I thought you've added Anfield. We go to Liverpool, full stop. Play Liverpool, full stop, and don't get a result. And now we've got a win and a draw at Anfield. Like, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. So, look, I'm disappointed. It was a stinker tonight. And do you know what? I think people are disappointed as well because it was so one-sided. It was so much like how we've played previous seasons, how we've been objective previous seasons, and in fact, that's probably worse than we played in previous seasons. We couldn't get on the ball. Couldn't get on the ball. It changed a little bit when Trossard came on. I'm going to get to the player ratings. I don't want to be here too long. We want to get through this. This is not good. Come on, I want you two to help me with the player ratings as well. All right, Aaron Ramsdale. Now, I personally think he could have not. I'm not saying he should have saved that first goal. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he could have done better with that. Now, as a goalkeeper, when I say he could have done better, I mean he could have, from the distance that he was out, I feel that he could have got a hand to it at least, and then we see from there. But he didn't even get a hand to it. He was flat. Yes, De Bruyne took it in his stride, which is what he does and how he got caught, how he done him for the third goal. But like, come on, man, it was very far out. But after that, he made two great saves. One from very close range. I'm gonna give him a 6. What you give him? 9. Couldn't have done much more. 9. Wow. Russ is giving him a 9. All right, Russ. I'm gonna give him a 7 then. All right. Maybe I'm being harsh, but when you concede 4 goals, Russ, you can't be getting a 9, mate. You can't be getting a 9 when you concede 4 goals, and it don't even matter whether any of the goals are your fault. you can't get. You conceded 4 goals. As a goalkeeper, I would be insulted by getting a 9. Do you know why? And I'll tell you why. Here's a little story. Here's one for you, know it. When I used to play, sometimes I'd play Sunday leagues for my mate's team, or I've actually played Sunday league for a couple of seasons, and I hated it because the dog crap on the floor, terrible pitches, not private pitches, it's rubbish. However, a bit of fun. When I used to come out of that game and we get spanked, yeah, their opposition would come up to me and be like, man of the match keeper. I'd be like, we just got spanked 6-1. I don't want your... Yeah, but if it weren't for you, it'd been 15. No, Dan, I don't want your praise. I don't want your man of the matches. I've just conceded 6 goals. I don't want to hear it. Stay away from me. And that is how goalkeepers are. We are not happy. Even if he concedes 1, he won't be happy. So if he concedes 4, he won't want to see. He definitely won't want to see that he's got a 9. Gabriel, he was not. He was erratic today. He was not good. When you need calm, a bit of composure, you need Saliba next to him. That him and Saliba have been so complementary of each other since Saliba's dropped out. Gabriel's not even been the same player. Yeah, he weren't great tonight. He got pulled, but I'll meet you halfway. All right, Russ is giving him an 8. All right, Russ is giving him an 8. You can see the 4 goals. One of the goals was he was all over the place for. Very sort of erratic at points. I'm going to give you a 4 or a 5. I'm going to give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. I'm trying not to be too harsh. Rob Holding scored a goal. Rob Holding scored a goal. I can't believe it. But like, okay, he was the better of the 2 centre backs, yeah. But still, Haaland abused him. Like by saying he was the better of the 2 centre backs, don't really say anything because Haaland was all up in him. Like, Haaland loved playing against Rob Holding today because Rob Holding wanted to give him a bit of a game, wanted to give him a bit of something interesting to play against. It weren't like he was just trying to nip a toe in. Rob Holding was he wanted a battle with him today. And Haaland loves that. So maybe Rob Holding needs to think about another way of doing things. He scored a goal, so I'm going to give him 1 more mark than Gabriel. I'm going to give Holding a 6. But yeah, it weren't great from either. See, look, yeah. See, look, there we go. It's the similar 4s to 5s, 5s to 6. Yeah, it's the same wavelength. Let's go to Zinchenko because I mean, he had the most up and down, and it weren't really up. It was just mid. He had the most mid to down game I've seen. But Zinchenko, for me, has not been great in recent weeks either. Like, let's have it. Zinchenko has been poor in recent weeks, and he wasn't that much better today. He got on the ball a little bit more, but I can't take the fact that Zinchenko is like, for all that he brings to the team, when he's not on form, he's out of position and his passing's poor. And that is not good because he's not a great defender. What he is an exceptionally brilliant technical player. Like, he's excellent. Like, he's excellent as technically, he's excellent. One of the best in our team. He's a beautiful player to watch when he's on it. But when he's not, he's out of position and his passing is off. I'll give him a 5 today because he wasn't as bad as he was against Southampton. But I'm going to give him a 5 today. Would you give him? There we go. Ineffective and totally nullified. There we go. Look. It's not far off. Look, I feel like we're on the same. I feel like we're on the same Russ, except for I've just gone a mark higher. Still the same. You know what you're talking about. Ben White. I thought of the defenders, he was the best. To be fair, I think he got too involved in nonsense. That's frustrations. He didn't need to get involved in it. Was he as good as Holding? Didn't score a goal. He tried to get up and down. Sorry, I'm well away from the mic. He tried to get up and down, but Saka had no ball. Saka was hardly on the ball at all. Is that Ben White's fault? I mean, it's got to be a part of it. I'm going to give Ben White a 5. I can't give him a 6. I don't think there's going to be many 6s, if any more than Holdings, to be fair. And that's Holding only got a 6 because he scored a goal. I think the sub's done better. Thomas Partey. Do you know what? I don't really know what to make of his performance today. He was, again, very on and off. What he was so isolated in that middle. I still think Xhaka was feeling the effects of his illness, because he was a bit all over the place today, non-existent in terms of just wasn't about. He tried to be forward, but forward weren't where we were, so he was very much deep. Sometimes be deeper than Partey. He was breaking up play a little bit, but not enough. Do I give it? I think I'll give him a 5. I'll give Thomas Partey a 5. Again, not good, but not the worst player on the pitch. Yeah, not good. Granit Xhaka. Now, I thought personally, Russ, I thought Xhaka was worse than Partey, but mainly because it was almost like he wasn't there, and there was a lot of chasing shadows because we were playing Man City today. Again, because I just didn't see him anywhere near. I just didn't see him today. I'm going to give him a 4. But most of our thing is a 4s and 5. No, I'm going to give Gabriel a 4 as well. I'm going to give Gabriel a 4. I thought he stunk the house out, actually, thinking back on it. Martin Odegaard. Again, was he even? It's non-existent. Just non-existent. And if Martin Odegaard wants to be at the levels of Kevin De Bruyne, he's got a long way to go. That's not any slight on Martin Odegaard. I think he's been brilliant this season. He's been one of our players of the season. But as we've seen, any Arsenal fan will know, watches him on a regular basis. If he's not on it, he's not on it. And if he's not on it, he disappears. And that's a part of his game, which I'm sure he's going to develop more as he gets older. That when he's in games that he's not really involved in, he's got to have an impact somehow, whether it's breaking up play, whether it's just getting a goal out of nothing, which he did last week, to be fair, against Southampton. But it needs to be more of that across the game. A 5, 4. Yeah. I'm with you on that one, Russ. I'm going to go for a 4. If I'm giving Xhaka a 4 because he was non-existent, I'm going to have to give Odegaard a 4 because he was also non-existent. Oh God, this is where the numbers just start either dropping or staying around 4s. Gabriel Martinelli, he even touched the ball today. Once, twice, 3 times a lady. It was not good. Not good, Gabby. And this is what our youngsters will need to do if they're going to be regarded as the best in the world. If people are going to start calling them world class, which people I think need to relax on. Like there's playing to a level where you're the best in the world at the moment, but I don't necessarily think that makes you world class. So for me, for world class, you've got to be you've got to be the best, if one of the best, if not the best in the world, consistently for at least 3 seasons, and then you can go, that's it. This kid is world class. Like, we can't say that now. Like, He's having. He is brilliant. He's an outstanding player. But any Arsenal fan will tell you, no, not any Arsenal fan. There's a lot of Arsenal fans that just get too excited about everything. A lot of Arsenal fans will tell you that Bukayo Saka has still got a long way to go in terms of the ceiling that we feel like he can get to. Like, he's got a long way to go. Again, needs to be more present in games when, you need to have. He needs to have more of an impact in games. Not even necessarily against the Man Cities, but he'll have quiet games. He needs to have more of an impact in those games, be more devastating. But again, we need to give him the ball more. Oh my God! Do you know what? Oh my God! Do you know what? Odegaard. Oh, I just remembered the pass that he done for fucking De Bruyne. He set De Bruyne up for their third goal. Fucking hell. Martinelli, there we go. Free. Do you know what? I felt bad giving him a free, but I'm gonna, mate. I'm gonna Russ. Russ, he gets a free. It worked good. Backs, Bukayo Saka, he was getting frustrated. Again, non-existent. I think there's a couple of times he got on the ball. Do you know what? I feel like Gabby Martinelli is a bit of he has been hit by the fact that the way that Zinchenko plays, and the fact that Gabriel Jesus is not yet in his stride, so that's affecting Martinelli's game because Zinchenko does not give him the. In comparison with Saka, that's a match made in heaven when they're on form. Whereas even on Zinchenko's best day, he's not giving Martinelli the ball anywhere near as much as what they do on the other side. And I think a lot of the ball goes down on that right-hand side. It didn't today. Akanji, what his name is it Akanji? See, it didn't matter whether they played Akanji or Aki, because both of them have had Saka in their pocket, if I'm honest. Saka gets a 4 today. He wasn't good, and he didn't get on the ball much. And when he did, he weren't great. And everyone's touches were off. Like Arsenal, are a team who can pass the ball, keep composure. When we lose that, we're done for. Like it happened last season when we went off the rails a bit. And what did Mikel Arteta say? He said, we need to go back to basics. I said to the team, feel the heat from the light bulb. We need to go back to basics. And they went back to basics and they started getting on a nice run. This team needs to go back to basics. The passing is so off. We can't build anything if we can't pass. And if we can't pass, we can't get back to where we were at the start of the season. So come on, boys. Fix up. All I want you to do is finish the season well. Like, do you know what? Let's just say the season's over, yeah? Yeah. It's still a fucking great season. Don't let it go out with a whimper. Do not give the people, and even the people, some people in our fan base, that are ready to fucking lose the plot, do not give them anything, please. Please do yourself proud and finish this season well. Come on, man. That's all I ask. All I ask every season. Now you set this expectation. I want this. I want this every season. I want to be going into the last 5-10 games. Can we win a league? We need to do this. We need to do... This is what we ask for as fans. So that our season isn't ended in April. Isn't ended in March. So we can still say, we're still in it. If City drop points, we're still in it. If we're still in it. That's what we want. That's what we want. Now, give us this next season as well. But make it better. Make it a little bit better. Make it so like we go to the last game of the season. Like, come on. Don't do what Liverpool do and like go 5 seasons back to back or whatever, fucking not doing anything, and then win it one year when there's no one in the fucking crowd. There's some 2-bob, empty, shallow, nothing trophy that you won that year, Liverpool. Like, do it properly. Do it properly. Do it how Man City did it when they first won it. Aguero! Can you imagine? Odegaard! Saka! Brilliant. That'd be brilliant. Do it that way. Grind it out. Make it tough. Have us on the edge of our seats and that outside, people outside the Emirates Stadium, listening, watching on their phones, people listening on the radio. Give us that. What you want. And a couple of trophies. Like we're seasoned vets for the FA Cups and stuff like that. Start winning them again. All right, I've gone off on one. Oh, yawning. Gabriel Jesus. Do you know what? He tried. Do you know what I'm thinking back? He tried. And Gabby, you can see his dribblings there. You can see he's just off it. He's just off it. You can tell he's just off it. He needs another couple of weeks. Look, I've got to remember it's been out for 4 months. So, yeah, am I asking too much of him? No, I'm not, because I know the levels he's got. But what I will say is, he needs to get in the box more. But we didn't help today because we just weren't. We weren't at it. We didn't trouble the keeper at all, really, did we? So I'm going to give Gabby Jesus a 5. Some will say I'm harsh. Yeah. Jesus 2. You gave Jesus a 2. How are you giving Jesus a... Come on, Russ. You can't give Jesus a 2. You're telling me that Jesus was worse than Odegaard, who gifted them a goal. You're telling me Jesus was worse than Xhaka, who wasn't even existent. You're telling me that he was worse than Zinchenko, whose passing was so off it was embarrassing. Come on, man. Jesus was not great, but he was dribbling around players. He was trying to make things happen. He just had no support when he was trying to get through. Yeah. All right. Do we need to get into the subs? Oh, no, we don't. Let's get on to Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta. What else could he have done today? The starting lineup. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Do you know? To be fair, the starting lineup's probably what probably would have predicted. I didn't know. My prediction had Zinchenko in the middle and Tierney on the left, but that's because I thought that Xhaka weren't playing. Did it make much of a difference with Jorginho in the midfield next to Partey? A little bit. Jorginho, probably because when we are breaking forward, Jorginho's potentially not the one who's going to be in the position that Granit Xhaka would be. So yeah, so I can't fault him on the starting lineup at all. If Xhaka was fit, you play Xhaka. He's been outstanding this season. So yeah, if Xhaka's fit, you play him. So he went for a different type of setup at the start, which didn't work because City played with a bit more width and we were very narrow. He changed it at halftime, which made a little bit of difference. I'm going to give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. We lost 4-1. I'll give him 5 or a 6. I'll give him a 6. He changed it up at halftime, which kind of made a little bit of a difference. I'm going to give Arteta a 6. But what I will say is he needs to get the players mentally ready for it. It's not even necessarily this game. He needs to get the players mentally ready for games like West Ham, games like Southampton, whereas, as Simon said, if we win those games, today's a completely different situation. And maybe we come into this game a little bit more relaxed. because we can say that they're not putting themselves under pressure. They're too cocky, but then it's still wrong. It's still wrong. Like saying that the players aren't under pressure and that they've been arrogant in the games, then the mindset's still wrong. Then you need to adjust it the other way. Yeah. So that it does because we've got Chelsea next at home. They're dog, but they could potentially have Mauricio Pochettino at the helm, and we do not want to give him anything. But Chelsea will have a bounce back under him, I think. Whether it's a long-term bounce, I don't know, but I think they will have a bounce. It's going to get them running, I'll tell you that. Newcastle away from home is going to be tough. Brighton at home is going to be tough. Nottingham Forest are going to be not going to want to go down. They're going to be in a dogfight, as will Wolves. So every game, the other team, bar Chelsea, is playing for it. So he's going to need to get them up for it because we cannot finish this season like a wet fart. It can't. It needs to end well. We need to be able to. They need to be able to say to themselves that we had a little bit of a blip, but we can finish this season well. And on the off chance, Man City might slip up. Not going to happen. But you know what I mean? You still got to be there. Because the worst thing you want is for City to, let's just say City lose their 3 games. It's not going to happen. I'm just saying. We're speaking in hypothetical, yeah? Let's say that City lose 3 games and Arsenal don't win their games. They'd be kicking themselves. So Arsenal, what they need to do is they need to make sure they get themselves in check for the rest of the season, get up for it. Because as fans, we want them to finish well this season. So, yeah. All right. Thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight. Lost confidence after the last 3 games and we've lost self-belief. Oh, it's Johnny. How you doing, Johnny? And this goes on to what I've just said, Johnny. Mikel Arteta says that Arsenal players aren't feeling the pressure and the fact that we went 2-0 up against Liverpool and went 2-0 up against West Ham shows that we've been arrogant in those games as opposed to feeling the pressure. And you say we've lost all self-belief. I don't believe we've lost self-belief. Honestly, I do think we need to take a step back and remember we're playing Manchester City here. Like, this isn't the West Ham games, the Southampton games. Yeah, different. But this is Man City. And they were excellent tonight. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. Man City were impeccable tonight. They did not put a foot wrong, Man City tonight. Not a foot wrong. And it shows where we are, and it actually shows the respect that Man City have for us, because look at their celebrations after the game. They knew how important that game was, and they knew that they had to be at their best to beat us. They didn't actually have to be at their best to beat us tonight, but yeah, they knew they had to bring their A game tonight. So yeah. So a big shout out to Man City, actually, because I know a lot of people are going to turn around and say Arsenal was shit, and they were. But Man City were absolutely blinding. They were different gravy tonight. De Bruyne, that is the best I've seen him play in a while. Everything he touched turned to gold. Haaland, he's a beast. He's a beast. He bullied Rob Holding tonight. And then Rob Holding was probably one of our best defenders, and he bullied him. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we've got to look at, Johnny. Man City are a different level. We are not close to them yet. We're not. When we come up against the other teams, yeah. When you look at the Premier League tables, yeah. But we also were 8 points ahead of Man City when we had to play Man City twice. So, and even if we didn't drop points in those games, that's still Man City putting a 2-point difference between us at this stage here because they've won those 2 games. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too harsh on ourselves. We just know we've got to go into the summer and do bits. When we talk about Moses Caicedo, when we talk about Declan Rice, we've got to make sure those deals are over the line. What's going to happen with Florent Balogun? Make sure you hit us. Make sure you join us on Tuesday night so we can have all these discussions. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight, Russ. Thank you for being my sidekick for the post-match reaction and player ratings. Top work there, mate. And Johnny, what's he saying there? We were arrogant against West Ham, especially the fan base talking about how many we was going to score. And 100%. What did Martin Keown say? West Ham would be a tough game. And that Alex Crook scoffed at it. He said they're in a relegation dogfight. It's a London derby. Of course it's going to be a tough game. And I think that's the kind of mentality we should have a little bit of. We should have a little bit of respect for our opponents as opposed to being cocky and arrogant. There's a fine line. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, people. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you are new to the show. If you are regular, press that like and press that share button. Make sure everyone knows you're enjoying it. Get in the comment section and have your say as well. Ask us anything. Make sure you join us on Tuesday as well, 8 p.m. and Monday for the Super 6 podcast. We're going to have Ben Jacobs is going to be on this week, and obviously Kevin Parker, the Man City head supporter, who actually got in an argument with Pep Guardiola once. I'll get him to tell you the story. Yeah. So make sure you join us Monday, 8 o'clock and Tuesday, 8 o'clock. One for the Super 6 podcast and one for the Arsenal show. Thank you very much, people. Appreciate your support. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands.